T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and welcome back to another video. Well, it is the weekend and salary has come in and all the bills are paid and you know all that malarkey. Grown-up points galore, I would say. But anyway, okay, 2 days of off work, and you know it's just a casual look today because a completely hectic work week, but now a little bit of relaxation. But I thought we're gonna do a little bit of a video here in a couple of segments here. Actually, I'm gonna do a little bit of a summation. No water or anything else fancy this time. It's just coffee. As they say, no place like home. Gevalia coffee from my hometown. No, this is my hometown now, but where I came from, it was Gevalia coffee, which was the norm, and here in Uppsala they have their own roastery, which is called Lindvalls. Both highly recommended. But anyway, first of all, I thought I would show you a little bit of an acquisition that I've done, or a couple of few small acquisitions before we get into the main video. First of all, as I've stated in previous videos, the one with the Nikon F, I'm a huge Lennart Nilsson fan, as you know, and I managed to find the first book he ever did, and it's about the animal, the ant. So basically, yeah, ant life before ant life, and let's see if I can do this without causing too much reflections. I mean, this guy was the undisputed master of macro photography. Even though this book is black and white, I mean, this is what I want. I know that one of his words of saying, Lennart Nilsson, was, I want to make the invisible visible. And this is a book, is a image that I think typifies that the man's sole of a shoe, a small mushroom, and on the top of the mushroom is a small little ant. And I think this is such a typifying image of Nilsson, how he puts it into perspective, everything, and you get the scale. I mean, it's said by the great American landscape photographer Ansel Adams that he was the master of getting a scene where you find yourself, you feel tiny in his photography. The viewer feels tiny. But it is in a way where being tiny is not a bad thing. And in this book about ants that Nilsson made, it is also about this, how to scale it, you know, how we scale up something that is so mundane as an anthill, but we make it is made into something extraordinary in these images. So yeah, the first book he did, and let's see, when this was from actually, I would really recommend it. Lennart Nilsson and Carl H. Lindroth. 101 photographies of Lennart Nilsson, text by Carl H. Lindroth, and prologue by Harry Martinsson. Forum has given out this, and it came out in 1959, so it's an old book, and this was printed in 1962. So first book of Lennart Nilsson, and I managed to also get his second book, Life in the Ocean, and this is also one of those books that I would really recommend to anybody. And this, in The World of Science, a television program that was featured on Swedish public television, SVT, Vetenskapens värld in Swedish. They actually interviewed Lennart Nilsson, and he said himself in an interview that this book, Life in the Ocean, was basically the precursor or the prelude, all the techniques he learned during doing this book was highly usable when he did the a child is born book when he photographed embryos and so on, because the techniques could be applied in both cases. And this book is both black and white, but also in color. And Nilsson also tells people that he didn't dive or anything like that to get these images. He actually built underwater environments in aquariums, and he photographed the aquariums. Let's see if I can get a good image here. Let's see here. There was a good one here. Oh yeah, here. The octopus and the lobster. This is two classic images by Leonard Nilsson, and these were actually built up in aquariums, and he used small spotlights to get it. So these books, really interesting. And yeah, I know I'm rambling now. Also, thrift store find, Robin Trower, good stuff. Okay, anyway, I went out a little bit now today. It's Saturday now when I'm filming this, and let's see here. I thought I would do a little bit of a different thing than I made. Okay, I'm not having any B-roll because this was just gonna be a day me out shooting for my own leisure. But when I got back again and started to edit the images that I've taken today, and it's gonna be a little bit more of the same, unfortunately, but the way it is, it's the way it is, and we all know how the world is today. But anyway, I thought I would do a little bit of a what's in my bag video. There we go. This is basically a nondescript bag that I have used for a couple of years now. I bought this on eBay from China a few years back, and it has served me fairly well actually. It takes a lot of gear actually. Let's see, we're gonna start. Where are we? Okay, this is just what I was planning to take with me. First lens I'm pulling out now, I didn't use actually, the Tokina ATX 400mm 5.6. Didn't use this actually. It is a great lens and so on, but I didn't use it. One that I did use actually, that I was very surprised with, was this made in Japan Sigma Super Wide 2. It's a 24mm f2.8, what they call a super wide lens, 24mm. But the thing is that this can do 1 to 4 reproduction micro or macro. So it's not a true macro, but it has a minimum focus distance of 18 centimeters. So it is a wide angle that you can do extreme close-up photography with. Not full macro, I know Venus Optic Laowa has one of those, a wide-angle macro lens that is a 1:1, but this one really blew me away. I actually got this when I bought the Nikon D2X that I later gifted to my father. But I wanted to try this out, and it didn't disappoint. It was actually quite a little nifty piece of kit. Let's see here. Oh yeah, those I'm gonna have. Here's another lens that have, this one has followed me around quite a bit. It was a lens recommended by Ken Wheeler, the angry photographer, and it is the 17-55 f2.8 AFS Nikon I can never remember all of these because they have such long names. AFS Nikkor 17-55 f2.8 GED. Yeah, I can never remember those names. Okay, and of course the camera, what I used now again, Nikon D2Xs, and on it now is the AFS Nikkor 70-300 f4.5 to 5.6 G lens, and we're going to do it like so. We'll just lay it down, like so. And a bit of a vintage inspired camera strap, just a plain camera strap like so. Let's see if we can do something. Okay. Also, let's see here. SU800 flash control unit. Really handy little device to use. Also, I brought two flashes actually. Let's see here. First, one that you have seen many times before, the SB800, a brilliant flash that, but also I managed, okay, as I've stated in many other videos, I never buy anything unless I know I get a great deal on it. And this one was a seller on Tradera, once again, a auction, and I managed to score this at, basically I think I got it for the asking price, and yeah, Nikon SB900. So yeah, I have my first full professional Nikon flash. You know the what camera is behind here. But anyway, I think that's all. Yeah, and then it's just memory cards and some extra batteries for both flashes and camera. Now for batteries, all of these flashes, AA batteries. I'm using a local electronics chain, or rather handyman store chain, Clas Ohlson. They're rechargeable batteries. That's everything I use, so yeah. Try to be a little bit economical. They might be a little more expensive to buy, but you get your monies out of them. They're really good in my opinion. They worked well for me. And some third-party Nikon batteries for the camera. So I think that this is, yeah, that's everything in the bag that is of use. But anyway, this was the gear that I lugged around this day. I would really say it was a bit of a workout. Normally also I use the Peak Design rapid strap, or their slide strap, but now I thought I would get a little bit more fancy, and I had this vintage looking camera strap lying around, so I thought, why not? And also a thing, I don't really use my camera strap around my neck. What I usually do instead is I put my hand like this, turn one half turn, and like so. So if I would drop the camera, it will be locked to my wrist. It's a little bit of a trick, but it has worked for me and it saved me a lot of times. I feel less constricted with having it around my neck, but just out like this, half turn down and up throughout the loop, and then it basically is locked around your wrist. I mean, there is a ton of ways to have a camera strap. There is a ton of ways to hold, to, you know, all the whole 9 yards, but this is my way of doing it. But anyway, let's move on, shall we? The entire premise was that I was gonna just go out and see what I could shoot for my own leisure. So I went for a stroll. First lens that I had on was, I believe it was the 70-300, and then I switched to the 17-55. So it was a little bit between these two lenses, and also the 24mm so-called macro lens. And again, I was completely blown away with the image quality of this old 12 megapixel camera. But putting good glass on a decent camera body still yields great results. I've talked about that before, and also linked to a other YouTuber who has done a similar real world review of it. But I think I will just end my rambling at this point here, and I'll just show you. I've probably done some images slideshow already, but I would like to show you a bit of the keepers from today's little improvised photo walk, just to get some fresh air when you're basically locked in the hospital all work week. But I think that this is all for me for now, and yeah, stay safe, adhere to your local regulations in these testing times for all of us. There is not one single person, I believe, in this world that hasn't been affected by this epidemic or pandemic, I would probably say. We had a little bit of a joke that the only people that would be spared from this would basically be the crew of the ISS, or the International Space Station, as long as they were up there. But anyway, I think this is all for me for now, and as always, this is Tobias Bergström from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I'd like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. So take care from now on. Bye.